2 weeks since planting and just got here to the field. Looks really good. I'm very pleased. Exactly 14 days ago, we put in all the sunflowers and the brown top millet. Let's take a look at everything. First stop is the combination millet sunflower field. You can see a lot of millet coming in and some really nice, well-spaced sunflowers. They're about 8 to 12 inches on center consistently throughout. So we got a really nice even spread back here. And the millet's coming on thicker in some areas and thinner in other areas, but there is still plenty of millet uniformly spread throughout most of this field. And that upper end where I had to burn off the rest of the hopper is thick and full as can be, so we're going to have a really crowded stand up there, but that's okay. One thing I failed to mention in the videos, and it's come up in the comments, and I'm so glad it did, why are we doing sunflowers and millet together? And why are we planting the millet so early? So 2 fantastic questions. If you caught last year's video, you saw we had a deer problem. The deer ate out 3/4 of this entire field and left us with a very small stand of sunflowers. So this year we're trying to outplant the deer and plant as many sunflowers as possible. So we planted all 3 fields with sunflowers, but in the event the deer ate out all the sunflowers in all 3 fields, I needed a backup crop. That's where the millet comes in. The intent of the millet is to provide a really crowding, shaded canopy below the sunflowers that do mature and make it, to help crowd out the grasses that may want to come in. If you plant the millet thick enough and then the sunflowers get tall enough, there should be very little grass that actually comes in here and survives and eventually hopefully gets shaded out. Planting the millet early because we want to run this millet all the way to maturity, which is 60 days, and then we want to give it another 30 days for the seed to harden. Last year I didn't leave enough time for the seed to harden, and when we came out here to burn, we actually burned some of the millet heads. I don't want that to happen. And to let it mature out fully, let the seed dry and harden, and then burn off the entire millet field like we did last year, and any sunflowers that remain will just be a bonus. But I'm hoping if this deer focus on eating these sunflowers, they'll stay out of the upper 2 fields, and hopefully we can have 1 or 2 fields and not have 1 field completely eat out. So this is the mixed field, looking good. Let's go check out the others. Up here shooting the video, my little boy says, "Come on, Daddy, I got a fish." So let me go down here and see what he's got. All right, buddy. What'd you get? Oh yeah, nice. That is a green sunfish. See the fluorescent edges on him. Green sunfish. Nice work, buddy. By yourself? All right, my boy caught him a nice little green sunfish. So we're back over here looking at these sunflowers, and we got really nice uniform coverage, really nice spacing. Again, a lot of these plants are 12, 18 at the most on center. Some of them are a little bit tighter, which is okay. For the most part, though, this entire 2 sections of this field germinated really nicely. We've got really nice uniform spacing. I can already see we've got grass coming in. It's not everywhere, but there's a couple of these little rows that correspond with this over here, which is interesting. I don't know if this got mowed and seeds blown in, or if this is that seed bed already coming in and germinating. But we've got post-emergent application we will be doing out here in a couple weeks. So I'm hoping the post-emergent application of the imazamox and the clethodim will knock out the grass that's coming in here and certainly knock out a couple of these broadleaf weeds that are popping up. All right, to the 3rd field. Again, this is exclusively clearfield hybrid sunflowers. The germination over here is pretty decent. The coverage is not quite as thick as that field or the back field, but the plant spacing is still really nice. 1, 2, 3, 4 plants, nice, maybe 12 inch, 15 inch at the most spacing. So really nice spacing over here. It's not quite as full of plants, so it'll be less tolerant to predation, but we certainly have a lot of plants with nice spacing throughout. One thing I'm noticing over here is there's not near as much volunteer grass coming in quite as quick as up there. I don't know if that's because the rate of herbicide over here was maybe a little bit higher, or if it was a little bit different method where instead of just spraying the dirt, we sprayed everything out here really heavily. So a little bit different method of application over here. Some grass is starting to poke in a little bit out here, but overall there's significantly less grass on this side than that side. That's pretty much it. 2-week update. We've got really good germination, really uniform coverage. We do already have some crabgrass or some kind of grass creeping in here already. But we have an app for that, and that'll be the post-emergent application on these 2 fields. We will not be spraying the back field, hopefully at all, and we're going to let that millet run to maturity, completely dry out, harden, and then burn that off to open up the ground. Next video will probably be another update. Appreciate you guys hanging in there. We'll catch you on the next one.